The first thing many foreigners notice when they arrive in China is not the Great Wall, it's not the food, it's not even amazing cities, it's their phone. Because suddenly, everywhere you go, people ask you to scan something. At restaurants, at subway stations, at tourist attractions, even when you just want to rent a bike. And you might look at that QR code and think, wait, what am I supposed to do with it? And honestly, I completely understand that feeling, because when you first arrive in China, your phone suddenly becomes much more important than you expected. It becomes your wallet, your ticket, your restaurant menu, your transportation card, and sometimes if you don't know how to use these tools, simple things can become surprisingly difficult. But I have a good news for you. Today, I want to show you one tool that can make your China trip much easier: WeChat Mini Programs. Once you understand this, you will start seeing everyday life in China from a completely different perspective. So, what exactly are WeChat Mini Programs? When I explain this to my foreign friends, they usually have the same reaction. Wait, so it's an app inside another app? And honestly, that's the easiest way to understand it. Think of WeChat as a super app. Inside WeChat, there are thousands of smaller services called mini programs. Instead of downloading a new app every time you need something, you can simply open WeChat and access its services directly. You can use mini programs for booking attraction tickets, ordering food, calling taxis, using public transportation, renting shared bikes, charging your phone, and many other everyday services. For people living in China, this feels completely normal, but for visitors, it can feel like discovering a hidden system that everyone else already understands. And that's why I want to explain today, because these small things are often what make your China trip much smoother. One thing you will quickly notice in China: QR codes are everywhere, but a QR code in China is not just a QR code. It's almost like a small door. You scan it and suddenly a restaurant menu appears, a bike becomes available, a ticket can be booked, and a service can start. But there is one important thing to remember. Not every QR code should be scanned. Just like everywhere else in the world, you should be careful with random QR codes from unknown sources. Avoid QR codes from random posters, stickers, or suspicious advertisements. The safest option is always official restaurants, official attractions, subway stations, trusted business. Once you understand this, QR codes become much less intimidating. But I know what many of you might be thinking. Sounds great, but what if I can't read Chinese? And honestly, this is probably the biggest concern from many international travelers. The technology itself is not the difficult part, the language is. That's why one of my favorite WeChat features is built-in translation function. Inside many mini programs, you can tap the three dots in the top right corner, find Translate, and switch the page into English. It works similar to translating a web page. Now, I want to be honest. The translation is not always perfect. Sometimes the layout looks a little strange because English words are usually much longer than Chinese characters, but for travelers, it is already good enough, and this small feature can save you a lot of time and stress. First thing you should know, popular attractions in China often require reservations, especially museums and historical sites. Actually, I learned this lesson myself. When I was filming my Suzhou travel vlog, I planned to visit Suzhou Museum. I was really excited because it's one of the most famous museums in China. But when I checked the reservation system, everything was already sold out. And that was the moment I realized, in China, sometimes knowing how to use these digital systems can decide whether your travel plan works or not. Let's take the Forbidden City as an example. First, search Google inside WeChat Mini Program search bar. You can also try searching Forbidden City, but Chinese names usually work better. Then you can find the official mini program. From there, you can choose your visiting date and book your ticket. One important tip: many popular attractions release tickets at specific times. For the Forbidden City, tickets are released 7 days before your visit at 8 p.m. Beijing time, and they can sell out quickly. So if there is somewhere you really want to visit, don't wait until the last minute. The second thing you will probably notice in Chinese cities, there are bikes everywhere. Near subway stations, shopping malls, office buildings, neighborhoods, shared bikes are one of the easiest ways to explore a city. Maybe your destination is only 15 minutes away from the subway. Maybe you want to discover a local street. Maybe you simply want to slow down and enjoy the city. Instead of taking a taxi, you can scan the bike, unlock it, and start riding. The first time you use a shared bike, you may need passport verification. This is normal. It is simply part of identity verification. You will usually see 3 major bike brands: blue Hello Bike, yellow Meituan Bike, and green Didi Bike. If you already use WeChat, Meituan Bike and Didi Bike are usually more convenient, and honestly, this is one of my favorite ways to experience China. Because when you ride a bike, you discover small streets and local life that you might miss from inside a car. Now let's talk about something every traveler understands: your phone battery. Imagine this: you are walking around a new city, taking photos, using maps, recording videos, and suddenly 5% battery. It's stressful, especially when you are exploring somewhere unfamiliar. Luckily, China has a very simple solution: shared power banks. You will see charging stations in restaurants, shopping malls, train stations, public places. You don't need to carry a power bank everywhere. Simply scan the QR code, open the mini program, pay, take the charger, and return it when you finish. One thing to remember: return it to the same brand. A Meituan power bank needs to go back to a Meituan station. Another place where mini programs are extremely useful is public transportation. China has some of the largest subway systems in the world, and while many cities now support international payment methods, WeChat is still a very useful backup option, especially if you travel to smaller cities. From your WeChat screen, swipe down, search 乘车码. This will help you to find the transportation mini program. Open it, get your QR code, and use it to enter the subway or take a bus. After you use it once, WeChat remembers you recently used the mini programs, so next time accessing it becomes much faster. Now let's talk about something everyone needs. It's food. You walk into a restaurant, you sit down, and instead of a paper menu, you see a QR code. For local people, this feels completely normal, but for first-time visitors, it can be a surprising moment. The menu is not missing, it's simply inside your phone. You scan the QR code, choose your dishes, place your order, and sometimes even pay directly. And this is one thing I love about traveling in China. Technology is not only used for big things, it's connected with small everyday moments. And if you watched my previous video, you might remember I showed you how to order food delivery using Meituan's mini program. This is another example of how these tools can make daily life easier. China can feel overwhelming at first. A different language, different apps, different habits, but once you understand these small things, you'll realize China is actually much easier to explore. And that's exactly why I make these videos. I want to be your first friend in China to help you discover not only the famous places, but also the small everyday experiences that make this country unique. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe to Vickipedia China. And if you have any question about traveling in China, leave them in the comments. Your question might become our next adventure. And finally, if you really enjoy this channel and would like to support what I'm doing, you can also support Vickipedia China through Ko-fi. Every little bit helps me to continue creating more videos and sharing more stories about China with you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.